Now, joining me is the Tory MP for North Cotswolds, Sir Geoffrey Clifton-Brown. Sir Geoffrey, thank you for joining us today on the Camilla Tominey Show. It's great to see you. Thank you, sir, for joining us.
No, great to be with you.
Politics never stops at GB News, certainly. It's a big week this week with President Zelensky and Ukraine. Should he be invited, Geoffrey Clifton-Brown, to those talks between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin on Friday?
Well, I think it's very hard to see how you could eventually come up with any peace deal if President Zelensky wasn't part of it. So, I mean, I think the ideal is certainly that he should be there. But if he isn't there on this occasion, he will certainly need to be there on subsequent occasions, I think.
And any deal, what will it look like? The Sunday Times reporting today that there must be a cast-iron guarantee for Ukraine. Will there be a territory swap? Will we have to offer, and should we offer, NATO membership to Ukraine?
Well, I think some territory swap is inevitable, given that Russia now holds quite a bit of Ukraine. Inevitably, at least on some form of informal basis, Russia is likely to want to occupy that bit that it holds. The idea of NATO membership, I would have thought, would be a complete anathema to President Putin. So I doubt that'll be part of the deal. In fact, I would think totally the opposite. Whatever the peace deal is, there will be peacekeepers in what remains of Ukraine, and I suspect the deal will be that they will not be allowed to join NATO.
We're looking to a busy September. We're going to see probably Palestine recognised as a state for the first time by the UK. That's likely to happen at the UN General Assembly meeting in the third week of September. What's your take on that, Geoffrey Clifton-Brown? Do you approve?
Well, I think let's just qualify that statement, Chris, if I may, because I think whilst ourselves and France and Germany and other nations may well recognise Palestine, clearly the Americans won't. And they are one of the 5 Security Council members, and they would probably veto any formal recognition of Palestine as a state. So we'll have a situation where Palestine is recognised informally by ourselves and some other countries, but not formally by the United Nations as an independent country. So this will be quite difficult, I think.
Will it change much? Will it open access to aid maybe for Palestine or Gaza as it is currently? It will, I suppose, establish a diplomatic network for the nascent state of Palestine?
Well, I hope that is the answer, Chris. I hope it will establish a diplomatic network, and I hope it will mean that the international community will be able to get the amount of aid that's really desperately needed into that Gazan state at the moment.
Are you comfortable with Israel's plans to run Gaza? They want to rid Gaza of Hamas, don't they? And then take over the running in some way of what will be a country. Is that a good thing? Do you think it will just inflame tension?
Well, I think what Benjamin Netanyahu's intentions was to take over the whole of Palestine. Now, I wasn't quite clear whether that means driving everybody out of Palestine, but whatever, he will take over the governments. And I think that is deeply unsatisfactory, because once he's taken it over, what's to actually make him give it back again to any form of Palestine government? So I think this move should be strongly opposed. And I think the way I was a former Conservative Friends of Israel, but I think the way the Israelis have treated the population in Gaza is completely unacceptable. Starving them of aid, of medical supplies, of water, of food is completely unacceptable. And I think the international community has got to find a way of dealing with that.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private internet access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cyber criminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private internet access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
Just looking ahead into our budget, we haven't got a date yet for the budget. It's probably going to be late October, very early in November. Geoffrey, Clifton-Brown. Are you concerned about wealth taxes? Because that's been mooted, or how will you be filling what could be seen as quite a large fiscal black hole?
Well, I think that many people in this country don't realise what a parlous economic state we're in. We're borrowing a record amount, about 100% of GDP. The interest on that alone is over £100 billion. That's sunk money each year to service that loan. And I think there will come a point where the international community will actually start to restrict the amount we can borrow. The country is not growing, the economy is not growing, and we're at a record high of taxation since the war already. Frankly, what's happening with our economy under this government at the moment is we're spending more than we can afford. But I don't see this
we'll be doing that since you were there for 14 years and we did it under your government, didn't we, Sir Geoffrey, Clifton-Brown? I mean, you spent £500 billion on the COVID pandemic and the energy shock from the Ukraine war. Surely that's got to be paid for.
Well, of course it's got to be paid for, but it's got substantially worse in the last year, and there are no mechanisms, as I can see, to actually start to reverse this situation. So inevitably, taxes are going to go up considerably in the budget. But I don't think that either a wealth tax or even tinkering with capital gains tax is going to raise the amount of money that is required. So I think inevitably the Chancellor is going to have to start to raise one or two of the basic taxes that she has promised not to. So I think we are in an absolutely dire situation, and we're not actually doing anything to repair it, because what is happening at the moment is the public sector is at a record high for the size of it, and the private sector, businesses are going out of businesses all the time, unemployment is going up. So the situation is actually getting worse, not better, under this government.
I mean, the government says it wants to cut the civil service by 10% in that spring statement, and we hear today that Steve Reed has done that in DEFRA, so surely you give them that credit. They are trying to cut the size of the civil service, but it is bloated, it's too big, and we haven't yet seen if they can even cut the benefits bill by £5 billion. That was failed, wasn't it, just in the summer just gone?
So two things there, Chris. Firstly, that I don't see much signs of the civil service being cut, and I interview twice a week. My committee on a twice weekly basis interviews the most senior people in the civil service, and I don't see much signs of it being cut. No. Second thing is that I don't see any measures to actually cut the budget at the moment, cut the amount of spending, or even try and root out waste. And we on the Public Accounts Committee, could save them billions of pounds if we were asked how you would do it.
Yes. Just turning to Tory party politics, you're the treasurer of the 1922 committee of Tory MPs. How's Kemi Badenoch doing?
Well, I think we've now got a conference coming up in October, and I think that's her real chance to start to showpiece what she's really all about, put what the Conservative Party stands for, and actually publicise. And I got a list the other day. The number of policies we've already come up with is quite considerable, but actually nobody knows about it. So the party conference is a time when she can really set out her stall and show what the Conservative Party really stands for.
But you said that no one knows about it because she's been in power for basically 9 or 10 months. Isn't that a complete failure as leader of the opposition?
Well, inevitably, after the catastrophic defeat that we had in last July's general election, it was going to be a really tough job for the first year or two. So her job is to gradually not only come up with some policies, but actually start to get on the media And she does that where she can, but of course, at the moment, other things are happening, and she just isn't getting the air coverage that she really.
The other thing's happening is Reform UK is happening. It's miles ahead in the polls. Is she got the right stuff to beat or to defeat Nigel Farage?
Well, I think she needs to be more outspoken, really bang the drum as to what we actually do stand for. And after all, we've got 120 members of Parliament. Reform have got, 4 or something? Yeah. We really ought to be able to start, with all those spokesmen coming on the radio and social media all the time, we really ought to be able to start to actually get it across to the public what we do actually stand for and what we're doing about the problems, the very, very serious problems that this country faces.
Letters of no confidence can go into her leadership from November after that first year's grace ends. Do you expect letters to be sent in of expressing concern and wanting a change of leader?
Well, my job as part of the officers of the 22 is to monitor this sort of situation. I've no idea because the chairman, as you know, never reveals whether he's received letters or not. Oh, yeah. And of course he can't, as you say, until a year is up. So, I mean, that would be pure speculation. But I didn't get the impression before the parliamentary break that there was a level of dissatisfaction that would warrant letters going in. I think we've really got to wait and see. Give her a little bit more space. Give her a little bit of airtime over the party conference and see how that all shakes out.
Well, Geoffrey, Clifton-Brown, an easy one finally. Will she be your leader at the next election?
Well, I think she's got a lot of what it takes. She's brave, she's bright, she's gutsy. She just needs to actually start to bang the drum a little bit more and actually show what the Conservative Party really stands for. And she's got some good people in her shadow cabinet. Get them out and about in the country a bit more and really start banging that drum and start having some policies to oppose what this government is getting wrong in the economy, on immigration, on health. I mean, there's a lot of things going wrong in this country, sadly, at the moment. Yeah.
You're not saying yes or no, are you, to that question? Will she be your leader?
I've no idea, Chris. I think it depends on how she performs over the next few months. Every month that goes on, she should be getting better. We'll see after the party conference. Have me on after the party conference, and then we'll see.
So, Geoffrey Clifton-Brown, it's an open invitation for you on this show. And, of course, you're not a front bencher. You're doing it on your Sunday. Thank you for joining us today